Hey, Magic fans, welcome back. This is your captain speaking here on Capnclydes MTG. We're back today for some more Commander Master leaks. Hopefully, they're going to get a little better. They've been pretty sad here lately. So, hope's on the horizon, but we'll have to wait and see. Don't forget, comment, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Help keeps the channel sponsor free. I do appreciate it. For those who are subscribed, I love you guys. And for those who aren't, the button's over here on the right side, in case you didn't know, with the little beep square. Anyway, moving on. So we got a good amount today to go through, so let's go. Aldrich, Master Tactician. Not a bad card. 2 white and 2 for the 3/4 first striker. And at least whenever this guy and 3 other creatures attack, you may choose which creatures block. Yada, yada, yada. Probably only a couple dollars, but still a cool card for Commander. I like his sword. Next, we have old Rafik of the Many. He's back again. He's been printed several times. Lost a lot of his value. He's down to about $1. Still a good card. At blue, white, green, and 1 for a 3/3 with Exalted. And whenever a creature you control attacks alone, it gains double strike at the end of turn. It is a knight. Knights have been popular. Next, we have Hamza. Hamza? Hamza. Elephant guy. Guardian of Arashan. White, green, and 4 colorless for the 5/5. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature you control, the +1/+1 counter on it. Plus, creature spells you cast cost 1 less to cast for each creature you control, the +1/+1 counter on it. Pretty cool for a uncommon. I think he was rare at one point. Who knows? Everything's getting downshifted. It sucks. Fierce Guardianship. That's right. This entire set that came out of, I think it was Commander 19 or something like that, has been reprinted. They were really expensive. No, wait, Ikoria. I think these are Ikorias. Anyway, point being, they're really expensive. They're all getting reprinted in a master set, which is pretty cool. Still rare. So blue and 2, if you have your commander, you cast it for free. Counter a non-creature spell. It's pretty sweet, not going to lie. Next, we have Decree of Pain. This 2 black and 6 sorcery will destroy all creatures that can't be regenerated. Draw a card for each creature killed. Also, you can cycle it for 2 black and 3. If you cycle, obviously you discard it, draw a card. When you do, all creatures get -2/-2. It doesn't see a whole lot of play, but I mean, it is what it is. It's not bad. Next, we have a Lotus. Yes, it's a reprint. It's not that big a deal. 5 colorless. You can tap it for 1 of every mana. So be it. Yada, yada, yada. Yeah, well, actually, I'm sorry. You tap it for 3 mana of any color. But, yeah, it's still only $1. So bad, I didn't even feel like translating it. Anyway, Blood Chief Ascension, 1 black enchantment. Beginning of the end step. If an opponent lost 2 or more life this turn, you may put a quest counter on the Ascension. Whenever a card is put into an opponent's graveyard from anywhere, if Blood Chief Ascension has 3 or more quest counters on it, you may have that player lose 2 life. If you do, you gain 2 life. Very interesting. Doesn't see a whole lot of play, really. But, I mean, I hope we don't get... I mean, the entire Ascension thing would kind of be cool, but I don't think it's something we really want to see in the Commander Masters, but Vindictive Lich. Now we're talking. Black and 3 for a 4/1. Whenever it dies, you get to choose 1 or more, but each mode must target a different person. Target opponent sacrifices creature, target opponent discards 2 cards, and the target opponent loses 5 life. Great for those big mad-looking group games where you want to screw with everybody. Alright, moving on. Next we have Sun Quan, Lord of Wu. Woo. Anyway, 2 blue and 4 for a 4/4. Creatures you control have horsemanship. This was pretty popular and expensive, but it was only expensive because it was hard to get because of the low print run. I'm not sure this is going to be... They're touting this at a high dollar amount. I don't see it making that kind of money. Just because now it's going to be a buttload of it everywhere. But anyway. Next we have Sublime Exhilaration. White and 6 has Undaunted, which means it costs 1 less to cast for each opponent, destroy all creatures. So if you're playing 4 people, this is only a 4 mana wrath. It starts for 1. Not too shabby. Moving on. Oh yes, here it is. The card, the myth, Toxic Deluge. Black and 2, in addition to cost of playing the mana, you pay life. All creatures get -X at the end of the turn. Well, that's the amount of life that you paid. A sweet card, however, after massive reprints, has really lost a lot of value. It's probably down to about $5 to $10. Next we have dun 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 Doubling season. Ho, 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 ho. Finally, we get a massive reprint of the card that's needed. This is a $100 card. If this printing cuts the value in half, that's still $50. That is a win. It won't be that low, but it's still so weak to finally get this reprint. Green and 4 enchantment. If an effect would have you create one or more tokens under your control, it creates twice as many. If an effect would put one or more counters, you get twice as many. Staple in Commander, and being able to make this card more readily available for everybody is definitely a good thing. Finally got a sweet one in there. Damn. Ogre Slumlord, 2 black and 3 for the 3/3. Whenever another non-token creature dies, you may create a 1/1 black rat creature token, and your rats have Death Touch. I mean, it is what it is. I do like the art. I like it's an Ogre Slumlord. I like that he makes rats. Flavor win. That's probably about it, though. Next, we have Flawless Maneuver. This is a part of the Ikora set. White and 2. If you control your commander, you play it for free. Creatures you control gain indestructible to end of turn. I like that full art. Man, that's sexy. All right, next we have Exsanguinate. 2 black and X. Each opponent loses X life. You gain life equal to life lost this way. Only an uncommon, but a massive fireball for a commander group where, you know, if you just want to piss the whole table off, then this is how you do it. All right, moving on. Next we have Arachnogenesis. Green and 2 instant. Create X. 1/2 green spiders with reach. The X is the number of creatures that attacked you. Prevent all combat damage that would be dealt this turn by non-spiders. Basically the ambush of epic proportions, where you get to make a whole bunch of dudes, not take any damage, and kill all your opponent's crap. Easily $5 to $10 rare. I think it's going to see a lot more play now it's actually in a set. It's giving it a little more visibility and more copies in the market. Runescar Demon, or Daemon, if he's French. Anyway, 2 black and 5 for a 6/6 flyer. Whenever he enters the battlefield, you search your library for a card, put it in your hand, then shuffle. Basically, you're paying 6 mana for a 6/6 flyer. And 1 extra mana for a demonic tutor. But it's all in one. You can't do, it comes with interest. You can't do it in payments. Anyway, moving on. Next we have Craterhoof Behemoth reprint. What? About time. This is a commander staple, and I'm glad to see it in there. 3 green and 5 for the 5/5 with haste. That when it enters the battlefield, all your creatures get +X/+X to enter turn, where X is the number of creatures you control. They also gain trample. Bump, bump, bump. All right, next we have Deflecting SWAT. I love the art on this. Like, get out of here. Red and 2. If you control your commander, you cast it for free. You can actually choose new targets for a target spell or ability. Dun, dun, dun. I love this art. This is so sexy. Hilarious. Zythoria, Strength Incarnate, green, red, and 3 for this legendary dinosaur. It has trample. It's a 7/3, and if lethal damage dealt to creatures you control is determined by their power rather than their toughness. Very weird. You can bolt it unless you're killing it. It's a thing. Just play it. It's funny. Look up the rules. It's hilarious. All right, moving on. Next we have, that's right, I didn't even translate it. If you don't know Avacyn, Angel of Hope, when you see it, I don't know what to tell you. 5 white for a 5/5. That's an 8/8. Flying, vigilance, indestructible. All your crap is indestructible. Very popular card. Was up to $20, $30 range and rising for a long time. I think this will definitely knock it back down to the $20 range. But a good card to see in the set. We have Scathe Claw. I don't ever remember this. But anyway, it's a 5 cast artifact equipment. Living weapon. Equipped creature gets +1/+1. When the equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, that player loses half their life, rounded up. Ooh. Yeah, that's a thing. I don't know what this is from, but this definitely makes me want to put it in a commander deck just for giggles. Next we have Yanet, Cryptic Sovereign, also a Sphinx, therefore i.e. cryptic, quote unquote. Black, blue, white, and 2 for this 3/5 flying, vigilance, menace, bad boy, girl, bad girl, bad them, they. Anyway, whenever it attacks, you reveal a top card of your library. You may cast it without paying its mana cost if its mana value is odd. If you don't cast it, draw a card. This a winner on all fronts. I don't know what this is from, but I don't know why I don't see more of this card getting played. This seems like a bomb. Bomb, bomb, bomb. All right, moving on. Next we have Day's Undoing. Blue and 2. Each player shuffles their hand and graveyard of their library. Draw 7 cards. If it's your turn, end the turn. So, nothing like Time Twister's slower brother. This card was pretty hot for a while, especially in the older formats. It did start to quiet down. This is probably going to drop it down to a $5 card, though, just because of no longer having scarcity in the market. Next, we have Yamcha Sleeper Agent. Red, black, 1 for a 5/5. When it enters the battlefield under your control. Enters the battlefield under the control of an opponent of your choice. Yamcha attacks each combat if able and can't attack its owner or planeswalker its owner controls. 3 colorless, Yamcha's controller loses 2 life and you draw a card. Any player may activate this ability. I've waited so long for the Sleeper Agent to come back and get this card. It's not really an expensive card, but I'm just glad to see it in the set. It's one of my favorite cards. I think it's kind of cool. And plus, with this being in the set, that means it's going to be in Arena, along with all the rest of these cards, and may the shenanigans commence, I may say. Moving on. Next, we have Reality Shift. Flying uncommon, blue 1, exile target creature, controller, manifest top card of the library. Decent blue removal, good for draft, about as far as it probably goes. Next, we have Razaketh the Foul-Blooded, 3 black and 5 for this demon. It's an 8/8 flying and trample. It's a flample demon. Pay 2 life, sacrifice another creature, search your library for a card, put it in your hand, then shuffle. This bad boy gets cheated into play often in Commander and other formats, and is a powerhouse, and it's nice to see as a reprint. Next, we have good old Tessa Karloff. Black, white, and 2 for the 2/4. If a creature dying causes a triggered ability of a permanent, you control the trigger. Ability triggers additional time. Creature tokens you control have vigilance and lifelink. Glad to see her make it into the set. Not the most expensive card, but I got mad respect for this girl, and I love the art, and I love her. Yeah, glad you're here. Next we have Darksteel Mutation. This interesting white enchantment is a white and 1. Enchant creature is an insect artifact creature. Base power and toughness 0/1 and indestructible. It loses all other abilities, card types, and creature types. An amazing removal spell. It's, pretty much pacifism plus, except for the fact where you can't block and get rid of your creature. You literally could put this on somebody's commander once it's on the battlefield, and then watch them wonder what to do. It's kind of funny. Anyway, moving on. Next, we have Stonehoof Chieftain, green and 7 for this 8/8 trample and indestructible. Whenever another creature you control attacks, it gains trample and indestructible to the end of turn. Great card, high casting cost. Not worth a whole lot, but what it is what it is. Twilight Prophet. This bad girl, cleric, vampire, dude, thing. Anyway, has been pretty high on the charts, sees lots of play. But now it gets another reprint for 2 black and 2. The 2/4s are flying with Ascend. If you have 10 permanents, you get the City's Blessing. If you have the City's Blessing at the beginning of your upkeep, you reveal a top card of your library, put it in your hand. Each opponent loses X life. You gain X life for X of the card's mana value. Sweet card, great for Commander. Glad to see it make it back into the set. Next we have Miri, the Weatherlight Duelist. White, green, and 1 for this 3/2 first striker. When it attacks, each opponent can't block with more than 1 creature this combat. As long as the duelist is tapped, no more than 1 creature can attack you each combat. Not the greatest card, but does have a certain flavor for locking down the board. It's okay. Next we have Marin von Kalmnatov. So, basic reprint of Marin. Not too bad, not too shabby. I'm okay with her being here. The one thing, before I go any further, let me just say this. I love all the art like this. It just makes my day. I love the portrait art for all the cards that they do. But Marin is, green, black, and 2 legendary creatures, the 3/4. Whenever a creature you control dies, you get an experience counter at the beginning of your end step. Choose a target creature card in your graveyard. If that card's converted mana values less than or equal to the number of experience counters, return it to the battlefield. Otherwise, put it in your hand. It's a fine card. It doesn't do a whole lot. It relies heavily on a creature build. I think it should see more Commander play than it does, because I honestly don't hardly ever see it. But I'm glad it's in here, and I'm really glad they came up with this art style. Bash me in the comments if you want, but that's just me. So, You do you, and I'll do me, and we'll just move on to the Idol of Oblivion. So this 2 colorless artifact, you tap to draw a card. You activate this ability only if you've created a token this turn. For 8 tap and sack, Idol of Oblivion creates a 10/10 colorless Eldrazi token. Hello. Um, fun card, great for limited, but honestly doesn't see a whole lot of play in Commander. Just too many hoops to jump through and what have you. Heavily Blade Master, white and 5 for this 3/6 flying double striker. When it enters the battlefield, you may attach a number of auras and equipment to it. Other creatures you control get +1/+1 for each aura equipment attached to it. Great rare for a heavy aura/equipment deck. But at the same time, 6 mana is a lot, so it's an angel. This guy, I think it's trying to do too much, but I still like the card. All right, next we have Toleran's Sky Commander. Normally, I'd be upset that this is in here, but again, love this art. It's so cool. He's 2 blue and 2 for a 2/2. Whenever you cast instant sorcery, you get 2/2 blue Drake. Sees a little bit of play. Not the most. It's a dollar card, but love these art. I love this art style that they've done. I like it a lot. So, Savine's Reclamation. This thing was just printed, but we'll go there again. White and 2. Return target permanent card, mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. If the spell is cast from the graveyard, you may copy this spell and may choose a new target for the copy. Really don't see any play hardly at all, but I mean, it's whatever, I guess. Next we have Song of the Dryads, green and 2, enchant permanent. The enchant permanent's a colorless forest land. This thing is one of the best green removal spells, right next to Beast Within. This actually just takes their permanent, any permanent, and makes it a forest instead of making it a 3/3 beast that may kill you. So yeah, it's pretty cool. You can also use it to pull enchantments off your guys. Like, lots of shenanigans here. I love this card. I don't think it sees enough play. And I'm really happy to see it in here. And I do like having the original art because this really takes me back to a fun time. Anyway, moving on. Next we have Imp's Mischief. Black and 1. Choose target of target spell with a single target. You lose life equal to spell's mana value. Not the best thing in the world, especially when we have the Ikoria, like, deflecting SWAT kind of thing going on. But hey, it is what it is. This one's black. The other one's different color. Yeah, whatever. Next we have Rankle Dog, Master of Pranks. This 2 black and 2, 3/3 from, I almost said Innistrad. What the hell? Eldraine has flying haste. When he damages the player, you can choose 1 or all or 2 of each player discards a card. Each player loses life and draws. Each player sacks a creature. Powerhouse card in Commander and in Standard when it was legal. Interesting to see this get put into the Commander Masters, but I can kind of see it. I got respect for Rankle. I'll rank daddy. Next we have Grave Pact. Whoa, haven't seen this card in a long time. 3 black and 1 enchantment. Whenever a creature you control dies, each other player sacrifices 1. This is a sweet and welcome reprint. Not only that, this is some amazing art. Who did this? Key, Walker, whoever you are. Walker, hell of a job. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. Anyway, I'm planning to get a strike for that one. Anyway, moving on. So, Kadama's Reach, green and 2 sorcery. Search your library for up to 2 basic lands. Reveal those lands, put 1 in your hand, put 1 in the battlefield, tap, put the other in your hand, then shuffle. It's basically Cultivate before Cultivate was a thing. It's nice to get this reprint. It's at common now. I think it used to be uncommon. But hey, we need some more of this card. It's kind of hard to come by. But anyway. Next we have Saphiria, Sky's Blade. 3 white, 4 colors, 7/7. You can pay 1 white, tap 4 creatures instead of paying the actual cost. Flying, lifelink. Other creatures you control have flying and indestructible. Sweet card, although doesn't really see a lot of play in Commander. The Angel deck does play it, but half a dozen 1/6 the other, I guess. Moving on. Next we have Steel Shaper's Gift. 1 white sorcery. Search your library for an equipment card. Reveal that card. Put it in your hand and shuffle. Good. Nothing like a tutor for a piece of equipment. Gotta love it. Tooth and Nail. Look at this reprint, everybody. 2 green and 5. Choose 1. Search your library for up to 2 creature cards. Reveal them. Put them into your hand and shuffle. Or put up to 2 creature cards from your hand onto the battlefield. For 2 colorless, you can entwine it. This has needed a reprint for quite a while. Very expensive, great rare. I'm not too sure about the art. I mean, I get it. Kind of think I wanted something a little more blood and guts, but hey, it is what it is. Great card. Glad to see it get put in there. It's been a staple for a while. Perforos, God of the Forge. Red and 3 for this 6/5 indestructible from Theros. Wow, I need caffeine. As long as your devotion to red is less than 5, he isn't a creature. I hate how they word that stuff. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, Perforos deals 2 damage to each opponent. For a red and 2, creatures you control get +1/+0 till end of turn. I mean, he does see Commander play. Not exactly the card I'd want to see in Commander Masters, but I guess we need some mythics that aren't as great, but aren't terrible, so whatever. Zakama, Primal Calamity. We already knew this was in here. They've already previewed Zakama, so we'll just move past this. Next, we have Sakiko, Mother of Summer. 2 green and 4 for this 3/3. Whenever creature control deals combat damage to a player, add that much green. Until the end of turn, you don't lose mana on through the phases. Interesting card. Doesn't see a lot of play in most decks, but still kind of cool. Yeah, so it's not terrible, I guess. Yasan, the Wandering Bard, has wandered into Commander Masters. This green and 2/2/3 for 3 mana will put a verse counter on him. You get to search your library for a creature card, mana value equal to the number of verse cards on him, and then on him, put it on the battlefield, then shuffle. He gets out of hand quick, although dies very easily as well. Because that's not worth a whole lot, but he is often played in Commander, so I can see it going on here. Pure Steel Paladin. I mean, why not? 2 white for a 2/2. Whenever equipment enters the battlefield or you control, draw a card. Metalcraft, equipment you control. Equips for 0 as long as you control 3 more artifacts. Everybody wants to play a little competitive Commander every now and then, I guess. But yeah, this is a great card in Commander and other formats. Just, I don't know how you can tie this into one format. It really belongs in all of them. It's a great card. Next, we have Azuri's Predation. 3 green and 5 sorcery. For each creature your opponent controls, create a 4/4 green Phyrexian Beast creature token. Each of those tokens fight a different one of those creatures. So it's basically an 8 mana brawl, bar brawl, and you get to see who wins when it's all said and done. I mean, it's okay, but if all their stuff's bigger than your stuff, this is kind of a waste of time, but we'll have to wait and see. I don't think it gets a whole lot of play. Maybe this will bring it into the light. Next, we have Disrupt Decorum. 2 red and 2. Gold all creatures you don't control because shenanigans. Alright, moving on. Next, we have Bloodspore Thranix. 2 green and 2 for a 2/2. Devour 1. Devourer is, as it enters the battlefield, you may sacrifice any number of creatures. When you do, it gets that many +1/+1 counters. For each creature you control, each other creature you control enters the battlefield with additional +1/+1 counter on it, where X is the number of +1/+1 counters on this card. Not really a Commander thing. I mean, could combo with tokens. It's probably going to be a bulk rare. Anyway, Divergent Transformation. This is funny. 1 red and 6 has Undaunted 1 less for every opponent you have. Exile 2 target creatures. For each of those creatures, its controller reveals cards from the top of their library until they reveal a creature card. Put that card on the battlefield, then shuffle the rest of their library. Probably $1 at best, but I mean, it's still funny. Has some combo potential. And the picture is just worth 1,000 words. I love it. I'm going to take my sheep out. Hey, Guido, come on, let's go. Anyway. Moving on. Next, we have the Tiger's Shadow. Alright, I mean, black, blue, 1 for a 1/3. Commander, Nujitsu. Return an unblocked attacker to your hand. Put this card on the battlefield from your hand or command zone. Whenever a ninja you control deals combat damage to a player, reveal the top card of your library and put that card into your hand. Each opponent loses life equal to that card's mana value. The Tiger's Shadow was a very popular commander for a very long time, and in the 99 of mini decks. With that being said, I'm not sure it's holding up any value right now, but it is nice to see this reprint, as there was not a lot of them out there. So, oh my, the Tiger Shadow snuck in at the end. So with that being said, that's all we have today, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. I do appreciate it. Stay tuned for my review of the set after it's completely spoiled. Talk about Amazon and their latest dump and many other shenanigans going on, not to mention Gen Con. So till next time, be kind. Don't forget to subscribe. And I hope I see you across from the game table. Hell, maybe at Gen Con. Let's hit it up.